触り
Momo! Momo!
そのためだ
Right, so again, she could be genetically neurodivergent, or it's the epigenetics that shaped her the way she is. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a licensed psychotherapist and your favorite yapper. Welcome back. The episode and the series are getting peaker and peaker, as Auntie pointed out in the Patreon community. And wow, did I catch the frog moment in the last episode with the waterfall, or did I miss lands? But we shall see. Assassination Zero, Samsonian Helixi, Jin Ichimaru, and Roxy Love are the founding sponsors here. Thank you. Shout out to the YouTube family and Patreon folks. You matter, you're worthy. Sit back and I hope you enjoy my wild conjecture and analysis. Here we go.
事態を察した数名の高官たちはすでに捜索に出ているが
So Basin is a narrator. They're talking about the search beginning. And think about the tension. The crown prince, Jinshi, is missing at Shisho's territory. Regardless him being the culprit or not, this is his territory. So in that sense, it might be stupid of him to culprit and master the assassination, because the most obvious suspect within this situation will be him, because this is his domain. And the emperor will rain down his entire royal army down to his throat, to the northern area. So it might not be Shisho who's the culprit. So many layers. But anyway, it sounds like the search has begun.
一体どこへ行かれたのでしょう。
次女と二人で
そんなわけがあるかバカらしい。しかしあの方が席を外されて2時間、部下を捜索に向かわせてはいるが進展はない。今は父上を頼るわけにもいかん。何を言われようとついていくべきだった。形だけの役割などうんざりだ。
I'm sick of roles that are pure formalities. There's so many politics. Because in a sense, Basin cannot display panicking feeling because of the order and because his dad, Gao Shan, which is the higher ranking officer, is also calm. There's a lot of layers there. Because they're in Shisho's territory, they have to stay calm. Because whoever shows vulnerability first and panicking feeling first, that is a vulnerability point politically. That is a political vulnerability. And everything has to be deeply, deeply calculated for. Every move has to be backed up by deep calculus. That's what Basin is frustrated by. And 2 hours on the surface is not a big deal. And makes sense why other officers are making a joke, because he did leave off with a servant girl. And it is common for them to leave for, I guess, lovers' interests and whatever, doing other stuff, right? So on the surface, you cannot blame the officers, other high-ranking personnel for joking around, because it's only been 2 hours. But you can also argue that it is still the crown prince missing for 2 hours without any updates, without any personal backing, without having any other servants and bodyguards leaving with him. The puzzle has begun. This is a political maze. So many complications. Very, very convoluted.
せめて主催がこの場をお開きにしてくれたら。師匠、相変わらず。
As always, there's no way to tell what's thinking, and Shishio cannot wrap up the party without the crown prince Jinshi being present. Because yes, Shishio is the host and he's the organizer, but crown prince Jinshi outranks him. So he needs to wait for the guests to arrive. Imagine you're invited to like a super exclusive VVIP party, and then the host just unexpectedly announces the end of the party, just wraps it up without the most important VVIP being present. Do you see that? That could be very disrespectful and could be very abrupt. So it makes sense why Shishio cannot wrap up the party. But the question is, does Shishio know? Did he organize? Speaking of the organizer, did he organize assassination attempts with the Feifa, with the illegal gunpowder weaponry? That's the question. And is he calm because he's waiting for the news from the assassins he sent out? Or is he calm because he's just trying to hold down the fort? Two very distinctly different, but two different possibilities.
だが、自分が主催の宴で厄介事を起こしたくは。
That's true. That's what I said. It's possible.
首相には関わりのない案件か。
So episode 36. Oh, these are some complicated kanjis and actually Cantonese characters. So I can't quite pronounce them, but I'll try. 第36话随 something 月 I don't know how to pronounce the first two words and I don't know what they mean, but the last word means moon. 月 the last character means moon. The Moon Prince. But I'm guessing this is the real name of Jinshi, his real name, real identity as a crown prince. Jeez, Jinshi, can you hold it any tighter? My goodness.
暖かい。それにかすかな香の匂いも。しかし、そんなことよりもこれ。
More importantly.
なんだ
Did Mao just, cause they're like literally intimate, they're like their bodies are like this, razor thin, with just 2 layers of clothes, literally. Did she just unintentionally grab Jinshi's PP and testicles?
さっきのカエルかにしては。
Is this the frog from earlier, but it seems too big for that? Alright, so this is the frog moment, right? This has to be the frog moment. Oh my gosh, Mama. You can't blame her because she still thought he was a eunuch.
すまないが、その手をどかしてくれ。
Yo!
触りがあるんだ。
Yo!
触り
Mama! Mama! We're not in inappropriate massage places, right? This isn't happy ending. I'm sorry, guys. My apologies. Mama, come on, please. Let loose. Let go. Oh, Mama. Oh my gosh.
王宮に立ち入る宦官にあってはいけないものだ。
Mama, you're so grab. Mama, massage is over. The patron says stop. Come on. Please let go.
だが、ある。あることはいくらでもあった。でも、考えるのを無意識に避けていたのかもしれない。
But I might have subconsciously avoiding the thought of it. At last, everyone, on episode 12, Mama's Grey Wall of Denial, the 8th wonder of the world, has fallen down, is collapsed. Again, this cave is a massive symbolism of unconsciousness or subconsciousness, using Mao Mao's words. It's intimate. It's the subconscious coming to the consciousness, the denial being confronted at last.
天女のような顔をしているが、ジンシ様は
ある意味、説明する手間が。お前に伝えたいことがある。
ダメだ。これ以上聞いてはいけない。
No, I must not listen. Mao Mao's astuteness, brilliance, intelligence clicking right now. This is Mao Mao's avoidance of dangerous information, like political sensitivity. Like this is her avoidance of political information, political knowledge, because it's dangerous. This is her survival instincts kicking in.
今回ついてきてもらったのも、その。俺は。
申し訳ありません。カエルを潰してしまったかもしれない。
My apologies. I might have crushed a frog. Yes, it's a frog moment, but it's also Mao Mao's denial and avoidance because, again, she knows the moment she hears this, her life could be a danger, likely so. And she's right. And again, this is her avoidance of danger. And this is interesting, right? Think about the juxtaposition. Mao Mao's voluntary interests and voluntary experimentation and voluntary exposure to dangerous hobby of poison tasting, poison experimentation. That's equally dangerous. Evidenced by her scars. You can literally see the band-aids on her arm and all that stuff. But that's voluntary. It's out of her own volition, out of her own agency. Whereas here, her getting exposed to this dangerous political knowledge is involuntary. Lack of her agency, lack of her volition. That's the difference. Poison and political knowledge are equally dangerous, one can argue. But the difference is, does Mao Mao have a say? Does she give consent to that? Is this consensual? That's what I mean. Just like the little subtlety of tension at the end of last episode, towards the cliffhanger, about Jinshi's physical intimacy and Mao Mao's lack of explicit emotional consent, because she did try to push away, right? Again, I'm not criticizing Jinshi, but the fact remains that subtle tension. This is the same tension. That's why Mao Mao's using humor and comedy of a frog and euphemism, trying to deflect from this moment. Fascinating.
カエル
突然上
I mean, obviously that euphemism imagery was a toad, because like I said, toad is bigger than a frog. If you know, you know, usually speaking. Oh my gosh, dude.
から降ってきて姿勢を崩して
Ah.
カエルですカエルあれはカエルださあ早くここから出ましょう
This is fascinating. And again, I don't think Mao Mao is asexual. And again, I don't want to create another war zone in the commentary section, like from episode 9 of season 1, about me saying that I don't think Mao Mao is autistic. Although I could recognize her neurodivergent traits, because neurodivergence literally means it's a spectrum. So it's neither here or there. And that's not the point. That is not the focal point of the season nor the series. Here, I can see why some folks could project that and relate that and headcanon, because she's showing no signs of embarrassment. She's not blushing despite her obviously now knowing and clicking and recognizing that she was indeed groping and touching Jinshi's dear treasure, sizable toads, his nuts, you know? So, right? So I could see that, but I think the more likely clinical explanation is her survival instincts switched on. Her hypervigilance is back, which is a mirroring and parallel process with Jinshi's hypervigilance throughout his survival needs all throughout the last episode with the hunts and being hunted. So I think Mao Mao's survival instincts is overriding any other sensation, the bodily context and anything else. Because when you're in survival mode, you're not thinking about anything lustful, anything romantic. Makes sense, right? When you're surviving, do you think you're thinking about romantic stuff? Of course not. I think that's the more likely clinical explanations. At the same time, I'm not the author, right? Only she knows. Jinshi's frustrated. Oh, what?
誰がカエルだと
Who are you calling a frog? Yo, this is my comments about me saying it could be the frog prince.
カエルはもっと小さいだろ
この季節
Frogs are much smaller. Yo, now Jinshi's taking offense to the size of his treasure.
そこそこ大きいカエルなどたくさんいます
そこそこ
ええそこそこです
くぐっている
いやカエルって気持ち悪いし免疫を
誰が粘液だ
とにかく私は何も知りません
Yeah.
過ぎては良くない
At the end of the day, remember, Jinshi's only like a year ostensibly older than Mama, right? Oh man, this is like, oh, so funny, dude. Wow. At the end of the day, they're like, what? Yeah, young adults, right? It's very common. And we almost forget the unspeakable, immense burden Jinshi's constantly carrying. At the end of the day, Jinshi and Mama, they're just two young adults who don't have the luxury nor the privilege to experience their youth, the innocence.
ミス様と私は交換と下女秘密なんていらない
Oh! Whoa. What's going on?
確認してみるか
Wow!
挑発が過ぎた
Speaking of not so subtle tension between physical intimacy and emotional consent, holy crap, dude. Did I not just say this? I mean, this could be a little bit too much physically for Mama, right? Again, this is unconsensual, despite obviously the political and social and cultural context, but whew. Self-reminder, this is just a fiction, right? And of course, Jinshi means no harm. All right.
どうする蹴りを入れるべきか
Should I kick him? Jinshi's nervous too. That's why his hand was... Ow! Ah! They both closed their lips. Oh my.
なんだ
Oh my. The dog found them. Ow! Poor
よく
Jinshi.
やった
Oh. Lihako, another golden retriever.
この声。
李白様、引き上げていただけませんか。
嬢ちゃんどうしたんだそんなところで。
Yo. Although Jinshi never got to explicitly reveal his true identity, Mao Mao knows at this point. She knows. She can no longer escape and hide behind her great wall of denial. She knows.
なるほど。フェイファで狙われて滝にと。ご無事で何よりです。で、なんでジョーちゃんがこの方といるんだよ。
説明しづらいとしか。
Very complicated.
まあいいけどよ。こたびの狩り。隠し持ってきたと考えるのが妥当でしょう。
Mm-hmm.
荷を改めるか。
Again, despite Lee Haku's golden retriever innocent vibe, at the end of the day, he is still a very astute military officer ascending quickly through the rank. That means he's competent underneath his golden retriever vibe, you know?
しかし。
客は師匠さ
Yeah, it'll be difficult.
んのような真似はしない。
That too.
李白様、その犬は笛で呼ぶ以外に何かしつけをしていますか。
Oh, good boy.
愛嬌はあるが。高専様、
なんだ。
怒ってる。
Yo, Jinshi's pissed. He not only experienced massive blue balls, right? Speaking of sizable nuts and big frog, his ultimate courage and willingness to go through with that true confession was interrupted, right? I'm sure he's frustrated. You can't blame him, you know?
まあ当然か。
That too.
が、ジンシ様はな
You know who's got the ultimate sizable balls? Who's got the balls of steel? Ultimately, it's freaking Mao Mao, dude. Man, after finding out his identity, again, she knows cognitively. She's just still avoiding because of the danger like it talked about. She just taunts him relentlessly. 0 Fs given. Mao Mao, wow.
かを伝えようとしていた。なのに知りたくないからと、めちゃくちゃな言い逃れをした。ただ、カエルもさぞやご立
Even in Mao Mao's self-narration, the story she's telling herself, he was trying to tell me something. Mao Mao, you know what that something is. That he's not a eunuch, and he's indeed an extremely high royal personnel. You know what that something is. You may not know exactly that he's a crown prince, but you know. He's something extremely high up, and he's not a eunuch, which only reduces and deduces down to a few possible positions. With the first assassination attempts that you saved him from in season 1 and so forth. But even in her self-narration, in her attempts to avoid political danger, she says something, which is a parallel process and the same thing that Jinshi does. Still by refusing to call Mao Mao by her name. They're mirroring each other, which is a concept of mirror neurons, definition right here, mirror neurons, which is humans' ability as social animals to mirror each other's behaviors and tendencies.
派であろうに、そこそこなどと。
I bet his frog's quite impressive too, but I refer to as somewhat large. Oh my gosh, dude. This episode's
気まずいな
nuts.
言うべきことは言わねば。もしかしたら、先ほど発砲した人物を
Let's
特定
go.
できるかもしれません。
Let's get to work.
おい、それは
主の衣です。
Oh,
川の岩場に引っかかってい
shit.
るのを発見しました。近くには誰もおらず、その先は急流。昨夜の雨で増水もしています。もし流されていたら。
Now shit got real. Yep. Because they're like, oh my gosh, if the crown prince happens, if something happens to the crown prince in their home turf, not just Shisho, everyone here could be considered as responsible. And like I said, I'm not joking. Historically, the emperor can send the royal army and annihilate the entire region. The emperor could kill all of them. Doesn't matter if they're high ranking. Doesn't matter. You let the royal imperial blood happen something in your home turf, that is your fault. That is your responsibility for not securing his safety. All of them. So I guess, again, on that surface, was Shisho really behind it? Or is it someone else trying to frame it onto Shisho because of the political sensitivity and the political rivalry? Or even deeper, is this reverse psychology from Shisho? Because Shisho may know the emperor may think this way, and sometimes the safest place is the most seemingly unlikely place. So it is seemingly unlikely that Shisho would stoop down to such stupidity, and that's why he did what he did. So I guess the question remains, who's the true culprit? But this is the reason why everyone else and all the other ranking officers are panicking, because at this moment they realize, oh shit. They recognize the gravity of the situation. Oh.
急げ。
今さら慌てたところで遅い。
では私も捜索に加わってまいります。
Oh, so Lee Haku knows. Because earlier I saw the camera rolling up, but they only showed his chin. So I was like, it's kind of ominous. Makes sense. So now Lee Haku is part of this gear with this covert operation, trying to maybe lure out who the assassin is. So now this is a plot. It's almost like going back to the title of the episode 11, The Hunt. But obviously the hunt was them going on an expedition, but as I predicted correctly, they were being hunted. But now the hunt was reversed yet again. Now, Mamao and Jinshi and Lee Haku, now they're going back on the hunt of the assassins. Fascinating. I love this. Peak.
どういうおつもりです？
This is so good.
なんだ。しつけま。
Oh, he sniffed out the assassin. I bet he's one of the assassins. Let's go.
犬だ。
Got him. He got one. Oh, so here's my prediction of the plan. They're using that. First of all, Lee Haku brought that garment to utilize every single personnel possible, and every single personnel includes the assassins, because those assassins have to be people undercover. One of the servants, one of the personnel among the parties of whatever ranking officers. So once all of the personnel were dispatched and employed for this search party, the dog will have an opportunity to sniff out every single person. And by sniffing out one of them, which I think the dog just did, they can follow its trail and find out the remaining parties and eventually find out the evidence. Feifa. Brilliant.
どうした？
バセン様、それが
More evidence.
主の衣だ。これは地下。
They're purposely leaving, Mama and Jinshi are purposely leaving trails before Lee Haku went back, right? So they had time to prep for this master plan. Amazing. The hunt has begun, baby.
人は河原が濡れていないので周辺にはおられないかと。どうでしょうか。
申し訳ないが、皆の荷を確かめさせてもらえないか。
I'm sorry, could we check everyone's luggage? Wow. Okay, so they're doing that. See, they're doing process of elimination, doing every single thing by doing their due diligence.
見つけました。この間違いだ。
ではなぜあなたの矢が
おー
主の衣とともに川辺にあったのですか？
なんだ。私を陥れる。
You see, this officer is panicking because remember what I said, Tall Jilju, killing of 9 lineage, an attempted assassination of a royalty blood such as the crown prince. It's not just you, your entire lineage will be wiped out. So they're panicking because they know it's not just them who are gonna die, their entire family will be dead.
どういうことだ。
This is treason. This is treason at the highest degree. Oh, I'm getting hyped.
ロエンの動揺は本物に見える。部下たちの様子に。
ではいかがでしょう。川辺以外の森の中もしっかりと。
Nice. Oh,
わかった。
you see that the guy, one of the assassins in the end panicked. I'm sure they hit the Feifa in the forest.
森の中を探せ。
Nice. See? And they're doing this one piece of the puzzle at a time, so it's not conspicuous, and they needed probable cause. This is what they're doing, probable cause. They used those misled, planted fake evidence of the arrows, because we know they did not use the arrows for assassination. It was the Feifa gunpowder. But they used that to lead to the next clue. But now they have probable cause to search everyone's luggage. And now, because they found more arrows, now they have probable cause to search the forest one by one. Seemingly natural, but this is all orchestrated and led by Mao Mao, Jinshi, and Li Haku. Brilliant. Li Haku is gonna rank up after this incident
う
too.
まく食いついてくれるといいが
Oh, Basin knows, although they didn't communicate. Wow, Basin's smart too. No wonder you're Galson's son. Wow, no wonder you serve the crown prince himself. Respect Basin. Liako, they were communicating too without talking. Now you see the hunt. Now the assassins are running.
どういうことだ
Yup, he took the
やだって
bait.
知らんぞ
Yup. This is the trap. Got
そ
him.
こに何かあるのでしょうか。
Got him. She found Feifa.
それは
Wow. Too easy. Too easy.
様さっきの
Wow.
犬に嫌われているようですね。
Nice. Right here, let me explain why Basin just put that white cloth in his mouth. It's not to prevent him from talking. It's actually to prevent him from biting his tongue and killing himself. I'll say it again. Basin put the white cloth into one of the assassin's mouth to prevent him from killing himself, because all these people, they're called 死士. 死士, Wikipedia definition right here. 死士. 死士 means soldiers who they're like suicide squads, basically. There are those, and typically these are typical mercenaries hired for killing, and they're all willing to die to bury the secrets. So they're culprits. The masters who hired them do not get uncovered. That's why Basin knows, or Li Haku put the cloth in, because they need him alive to find out the rest and to interrogate him to find out who the master is. And remember, they will interrogate the shit out of him, because back then we did not have the UN peace treaty of non-torture laws. Although, let's be honest, governments still have black ops, special forces operating in the shadow, and they do still interrogation. Let's be honest, right? But anyway, that is the significance of putting that white cloth into the assassin's mouth. Jackpot, baby. And he's alive. Yup.
この匂い。
Yup.
直します
They'll find the rest of the Feifa. Jackpot, baby. Let's go.
狩りに犬を連れて行かなかったのはこのためですね。中身は押収済みです。フェイファが3丁入っていました。
Wow.
異国のものだ。おそらく裁縫の最新型だろ
From the west.
う。まだ煙の匂いがする。
ずいぶん小型ですね。
私もこの方は初めて見た。なるほど。
思わず鼻を押さえたくなるような匂いを発します。まるで卵が腐ったような。崖の上で撃たれた時と同じ匂いです。
Mao,
猟
my
犬に
goodness.
火薬の匂いを嗅がせたらすぐにこのフェイファを探し当ててくれました。それを撃った人間に
What a smart dog, dude. Yo, MVP of this episode is the dog and the human dog. Li Haku. Respect.
この匂いも嗅ぎ当てるのですから賢い犬です。
Yeah, respect.
お前は偉いな。
You see again, I'm assuming the mercenary hire for assassin, he is doomed because remember, they're not afraid of dying themselves. Remember, they're mercenary hire for killing. They're 死士 who are willing to die by even going through a suicide. He's sweating and he's terrified because it's such a stem. Remember, his entire lineage of family will be wiped out. And he knows if he has daughters, wife, grandparents, whatever, they're gone. They committed treason.
カーマンをかけるためとはいえ、出汁に使われたおっさんたちには悪いことしたな。
I'm surprised he didn't get a heart attack.
バフェ、
Oh.
先ほどの銃声はお怪我は姿を消したかと思えば突然衣の切れ端を見せられてこの男に合わせろなどと 私は一体どうしたことかと。
すまない。状況は
Good job, Basin.
この者の関係者たちはいつでも捕獲できるよう見張っております。
Nice.
では、あとは罪状を明確にするだけだな。
はっ。
Wow.
その後、覆面の主賓は山荘に戻り、狩りの宴は3回となった。
After that, the masked guest returns. Again, the story that Mama's telling herself it reeks of avoidance of political danger. Even the story she's telling herself. This truly is the Apothecary Diaries. I'm dead. Yo, that officer is celebrating getting absolutely smashed because he's like, oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna lose my head and all my beloved ones as well. My goodness.
の失踪事件は表向きは覆面のお方の気まぐれということで処理された。うまい。
Sayonara.
何かあったのかお疲れのご様子だった。だがジーシ様の代理としてここにいる自分はそれを気にする立場にない。
Oh, wow. 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 So that's why Gaussian had to be disengaged and seemingly disinterested because he is the substitute for Master Jinshi, a high-ranking eunuch. Because Jinshi's here as the crown prince. Wow, wow, wow.
まだまだだな。
Oh, Basin. What a day for Basin too, man. Oh my goodness.
いえ、楽しませていただいております。
しかし大変ですな。女帝の怒りを買ったばかりに宦官になど。
終わった話ですから。それにいい月見酒ですよ。宦官となり。
Suits the moon. Remember that was the last character of Jinshi's supposed true name?
マーの名を捨て、ガオシュンと名を改めた。だが宴の折にはマーの家の者として扱われる。そういうことになっている。
それにしても麗しの宦官殿が
が来ていらっしゃいますから。
あれだけ美しいお顔が参加されたらそれだけで嫌味になって。ひどいやけどの跡があるとの
Interesting rumors.
噂。今宵も部屋に
Wow. I also heard he's still locked away in his room. All these rumors. Oh. Oh. So this masked lord, obviously the crown prince, with Mamao's baby swap theory, is that what happened to the actual son of the Empress Dowager? And that's why Jinshi and Parl said to cover his face to maintain the facade of the pre-baby swap. And in that sense, doing that also actually helps save. It's actually also conducive for Master Jinshi's true identity and his true safety. Because the rumor has been established. The reputation, the facade is he has a burned face. Is that the reality of Empress Dowager's true son before the baby swap and all that, right? Oh my god, there's so many layers. My head hurts.
引きこもっていると聞きますし、帝も心配でしょう。あれが東宮とは。
To have that as the crown prince. Yep, this has to be the rumored identity of who the actual son of the Empress Dowagers would have been without the baby swap.
あれか。東宮への敬いはどこにもない。
Yeah, wow.
してどうなのです？
私はあいにく。失礼、少し酔いました。
Ah, Gaoshen's professionalism. He doesn't want to engage in gossip because the guy's bad mouthing his master, Jinshi. Although not Jinshi, but you know, the other supposed crown prince with the burned face, right? With the whole baby swap situation.
皆見定めようとしている。 こたびの狩りのし帝の弟君が行為を継ぐにふさわしい人物であるかどうか。ジンス様はシャオマオに真実を伝えられたのだろうか。
So close.
今後起こりうる問題に対処するためにも知らせておく必要がある。
She needs to know in order to deal with the problems. Because remember, with the Emperor's approval in the color blindness episode, in episode 7, I don't want to say Mamo's going to be groomed to become the concubine or maybe even the future queen and empress to Master Jinshi. But Gao Shen's point is she needs to know explicitly, completely break down and shatter her Grey Wolf did not into the pieces. So she is more equipped to support and help out Master Jinshi. Because it's only going to get more dangerous. It's only going to get more convoluted. The knives are only going to get sharper at the top. That's what Gao Shen is saying. And I agree. Mao Mao, you cannot run away forever.
利用価値のある娘だ。非常な言い方だが、使える手は多い方がいい。
あの時みたいに。
Whoa, just like the other time. Sui Ray, yo. Because this is an inconclusive conclusion.
フェイファの出所、連中の目的、分かっていないことが多い。裁縫か。鏡合わせのようにウリ二
Yeah, right? The special envoys?
つの特使たち。監視の目をかいくぐって特使たちのことだ。
Oh. It was about them. That was a crazy foreshadowing and a seed they planted episodes ago. Wow. Impressive writing, needless to say.
はらんだ例え話の妹のように関係を目論んでいたか、それとも。
I'm not going with Mao Mao's hypothesis yet, but I realized in Gao Shen's original story, the mystery, those envoys were being watched at all times by the guards, not because they cannot sneak out to meet with a man or get pregnant, is to put them under surveillance so they do not do anything that could be in harm against the dynasty, against the emperor, against the imperial bloodline. Because again, despite being a political alliance, when you're coming from the foreign lands, you're under so much surveillance because your existence in itself could be a threat. Remember what I talked about tall puppy syndrome? You like to cut down the tallest puppy, which is the Chinese dynasty right now because they're the strongest. So it wasn't about pregnancy at all. It was about surveillance against the envoys. But obviously, based on Gao Shen's story, one of them did sneak out. But was it actually to deliver Feifa, which is coming from the West, and cutting edge, the latest technology, which even Jinshi was not aware of? How accurate is Mao Mao's hypothesis? Interesting. But I feel like she's close.
が吐いてくれたらいいけど。
少しいいか。
I hope the culprits can tell us something. What did I say? Those assassins are being interrogated, probably getting tortured as we speak to get the truth or to obtain the truth.
なぜここに宴に出てたんじゃないのか。
Jinshi, round 2, baby.
開けなくていい。
Oh.
随分と驚かせてしまって
Aww.
悪かった。
Jinshi's nervous. That's his nervous tick, right? Scratching his head, which is what Mao talked about in a few episodes ago, and his foot is, right? He's moving his foot, that he's nervous. That's his behavior cues of nervousness.
顔しているのか。見なくてもわかる。
You see, they know each other so well. They know each other so well. Mao, you'd be a great empress to the nation if Jinshi were to become the emperor. Or at least you'd be a great highest ranking concubine.
気にしておりません。こちらこそ申し訳ありませんでした。
Hearts to hearts.
そこそこなんて言って。ジンシ様は何を考えているんだろう。私は昔から人の心の機微には疎い。
I've always been slow to understanding human feelings. Oh, interesting. Again, that could be symptoms and signs of PTSD. and trauma, which have overlapping symptoms and display as neurodivergent traits, or she could be neurodivergent. Again, but that's not the point, right? Let's focus on Mao for her sake.
姉ちゃんたちは仕事第一の義女だ。いくら泣こうが仕事が終わるまで。
No matter how much I cried, they left me alone until they were done with work. You see? Trauma, negligence. That's nurturing. Nature and nurture, genetics and epigenetics. Epigenetics means a change. Definition right here. Epigenetics is a change in our DNA expression. Not the DNA molecules themselves, but the DNA expression based on environmental factors. That's epigenetics. That's the clinical term for nurture, which is the colloquial descriptions, right? So again, it's always, people are always asking, is it nature or nurture? It's always both nature and nurture. Nature is the foundation, the bedrock a building is built up of, but everything on top is nurture. So it's always both, right? So again, she could be genetically neurodivergent, or it's the epigenetics that shaped her the way she is.
放置された。そのうち悟ったのか、泣かない赤子になったらしい。
Oh, poor Mao.
だからなのか。
Survival.
何を言ったらいいかもわからない。私は何も口にしません。
Yeah, actually, the more I talk out loud, the more I gather evidence and clinical data from Mao. I think a lot of her seemingly neurodivergent display is a result of her epigenetics, her trauma, the negligence, the lack of care and attentiveness from her caregivers, not to their fault because they're also surviving, but that was just a reality of her upbringing. But again, it's nature and nurture, right?
私にとって人子様は人子様です。
Oh, that's the best. Oh, that's the best thing she can tell Jinshi. No matter what, your social positioning, your political positioning, your whatever will not change how I view you. You'll always be you. You remember, that's why Jinshi loves Mama, and that's why he loves being with her. Because she is one of the only few does not differentiate him based on the social political factors, and she sees him for who he is. That's why she could bend her and roast him and taunt him without consequences. Jinshi longs for that. He yearns for this authentic, unconditional acceptance. This is so beautiful, y'all. So beautiful. Aww.
これが正直な気持ちだ。
Nice.
玉があるかないかの違いなんて別に見るわけでもないし、私には関係ない。
Since it's not like I'm going to see them, the writer, hey, is this foreshadowing of, you know, what's to come down the road?
お前にとって俺は俺か。
Oh.
警戒するな。これを渡したいだけだ。
Is this the ox, the rare herbs? Ooh. Ow.
これを渡すとともにずっと伝えようと思っていた。お前には迷惑をかけるかもしれないが、
これは
そのためだ。
Oh my god, I did not expect Mama's this level of enthusiasm. Ox bazaar. I know in Chinese it's called Niu Huang. Niu literally means ox or cow. Huang means yellow, gold, right? But that obviously this is the treasure that Mama has been seeking.
非常に貴重とされる牛の胆石。
ようやく手に入った。ってそうではなく。
ありがとうございます。
Yo. Oh. This is what Mama means. You will always be you. I don't care if you're a crown prince. I'm gonna treat you exact the same way as I treated you. Oh, Jinshi, hey, if you want Mao Mao, if you love her for who she is, you also gotta accept this about Mao Mao. She is what she is, baby. Oh my gosh. But the way she freaking locked the door, literally shutting the door on Jinshi's face.
誰にも邪魔されたくない。
Now no one will come between us. Yo. Yeah, everything else melted away. For the entire remaining nights, I'm sure Mama won't be able to sleep. I'm sure she will sleep with this treasures. Not Jinshi's treasures, but you know, no one and nothing will come between her. Everything else dissipated.
ジンス様が宦官かどうかどうでもいい。ただ、5分の恩はある。ちゃんと本物の宦官にしてあげよう。
I will make him into a eunuch for real? What? What? What?
おい聞いているのか
Yo! Yo, Mama's already gone. She's already in bed. Oh my gosh. Poor Jinshi, dude. Speaking of being neglected, my gosh.
人の話は最後まで聞け
She's not listening.
この国で花の文字を冠する者は今現在2人のみ。
Oh gosh.
国の頂点に立つ帝。
Ka.
いえ、月の君。
The Moon Prince. Yo, I've said that in the Moon Fairy episode.
いつまでも仮初めの立場ではいられませんよ。数い月なのだから。
Kazuigetsu. Goosebumps. Only two people with the name of Ka, the royalty clan, the emperor and the Moon Prince. Kazuigetsu. Whoa. And I did not expect to hear the voice of the actual narrator of the show, since I haven't heard her voice since the end of season 1. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I know I've been saying every episode, this is one of my favorite episodes today, but it is. How's the show getting better and better and getting more mind-boggling, more complex, more convoluted? Man. And also, I just learned that Mama won the GOAT, the Best Anime Character Award and Crunchyroll Award. And obviously, I know it's just like a popularity context, but nonetheless, Mama, you well deserved. Well deserved. Anyway, enough yapping. Thank you guys for tuning in. Man, what an epic episode. And I do mean that epic in every sense of that word. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, please remember, you matter, you're worthy. Until next week. Peace.